Because the PANL-401 has it all. Its flexible installation solutions allow you to use it to provide passengers with reliable connectivity, or to install it temporarily. Emergency responders can trust a consistent cross-polarized connection for efficient and dependable operations. And your office can rely on a super high-gain Omni connection, perfect for a bustling business. The PANL-401 goes where you need it, from commercial applications to personal use. Use it for convenient, temporary, or permanent wireless connection. The PANL-401 comes with super strong suction cups and industrial-strength Velcro as mounting options, allowing you to securely fasten it even for temporary installation. It also boasts an IK rating of 8 and an IP rating of 65, due to its carefully designed sonic welded enclosure. The PANL-401 has a peak gain of 7.8 dBi, which, like all Poynting products, have been expertly designed to ensure consistency. And it's omnidirectional, meaning you can expect that peak gain to perform in multiple directions, providing you with even more reliability. It also has a cross-polarized design, meaning a faster and consistent connection. That's why you can trust the Poynting PANL-401. It's everything you need, wherever you want it. It's Poynting on the go. Poynting, beyond a connected life.
And now, I think we're going to start. Okay, 55 people. So, hi everyone. Hope you are doing very well today. I'm Dora, the marketing manager for Europe, and I'm here to welcome you and introduce our speakers, okay? Some of you know us very well and, and are already our clients, while others are not so familiar with Poynting. But I hope that by the end of this session, we'll be seriously considering to be our customers, our friends, our fans. As promised, today we have Beth Comu, one of our electrical engineers based in South Africa. She was the product manager for the PANL-401, and her expertise and passion for what she does are truly, truly impressive. I'm sure you will enjoy hearing from her. We also have Roel de Bock, our new business developer for Poynting Europe. We thought this would be a great chance for you to get to know him. And we'll be talking about the SWIRL, an antenna we launched late last year. We'll do a quickly product recap, go over different applications, and share some real-world examples. We will have a short Q&A session, so feel free to drop your questions in the QA session. If you don't have time to answer if we don't have time to answer the questions during the webinar, don't worry, because we will answer to all the questions after the webinar. And of course, stay until the end, because we will be announcing the 3 lucky winners of our PANL-401 giveaway. Thank you so much for joining us today, and enjoy the session. Beth, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Dora. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, everything is perfect.
All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this webinar. My name is Beth Comu, an Associate Product Manager at Poynting Antennas. In this session, I'll be introducing you to an antenna we recently launched called the PANL-401, and we are referring to it as an antenna on the go because it's portable in different environments. You can literally move with it to any place you want to move with it and use it. So from your office, you can pack it in your laptop bag, take it home, use it there, get internet connectivity. You can take it to trips. You can literally take it anywhere and travel with it and use it. So that's why we are calling it an antenna on the go. So let's dive in. So what is the PANL-401? It is a 5-in-1 omnidirectional wideband panel 5G antenna. So what do we mean by a 5-in-1 antenna? So it means we have 5 antenna elements in the same enclosure. So the PANL-401 looks like the image on your right. It's sleek, it's compact, it has a matte finish, and is available in black for now. So let's understand the name PANL-401. So for the panel here, it refers to the antenna series name. So this came about from the shape of the radome or the enclosure. As you can see on the image on the right, the antenna is flat, the radome is flat, and it's rectangular. So that's where the panel name came from. The 4 here refers to the number of cellular antenna elements inside the radome. In this instance, we only have 4 cellular antennas, which are here. So we have a horizontal antenna, a vertical, a horizontal, and a vertical. So in total, we have 4 cellular antennas. The 0 shows that we do not have any Wi-Fi antennas for this series. And the 1 here shows that we only have 1 GPS antenna element in the same enclosure that is actually situated in the middle of the antenna. Okay. So let's look at the specifications of the PANL-401. I'll be looking at the electrical specifications as well as the mechanical specifications. So the PANL-401 is an ultra-wideband antenna that works from 410 megahertz all the way to 6,000 megahertz. So this ensures compatibility with older technologies, with the current technologies and the emerging technologies. So why did we go as low as 410? The importance of having low frequencies is they provide excellent signal penetration through obstacles like buildings and dense foliage, and they're also ideal for long-range communication, while the mid to the high frequencies provide high bandwidth for faster data rates, especially in demanding environments. So these low and high frequencies cater for different applications and environments. The PANL-401 has a peak gain of 7.8 dBi. Antenna gain indicates how well an antenna can focus energy in a particular direction, which we can translate to an estimated coverage distance. Typically, the higher the gain, the longer the coverage distance, and a peak gain of 7.8 dBi will provide superior signal strength and extended coverage. The PANL-401 comprises of 4x4 MIMO cross-polarized cellular antennas. The importance of having a 4x4 MIMO setup is because it will provide higher data throughputs, while cross-polarized antennas, in this instance, we have our vertical and the horizontal, will allow the antenna to not only receive signals from one orientation, but multiple polarizations at the same time. This will increase the likelihood of capturing strong and stable signals even when the transmitted signal from the base stations changes polarizations as it's on its way to your antenna. So this is a very important factor to factor in, especially for mobility, where the moving vehicle keeps on changing its position to the cell towers. The PANL-401 comprises of a dual band GPS. Dual band GPS here means it not only receives it is receiving GPS signal from 2 bands and not only 1. So the importance of receiving a GPS signal from 2 bands is you will have greater precision or accuracy, and you'll have faster location fixes compared to just receiving GPS signal from 1 band. On the mechanical specs, it's compact, as I indicated earlier, and it has a length of 267 millimeters, a width of 210 millimeters, and a thickness of 31 millimeters. For water ingress, it's IP65 rated. For impact resistance rating, it's an IK8, and this antenna is mounted on a window, so it's an indoor antenna, and we recently EMARC certified it. What this means, this is actually a legal requirement in many countries, in particular in Europe, for electronic components or antennas that are used in vehicles. So if an antenna has an EMARC certification, it will show that this antenna will not interfere with the electronics in the vehicle, which is a very good thing to have. So this is just an illustration of the frequencies that I mentioned earlier that the PANL-401 covers. So it's ultra wideband, covers as low as 410 megahertz all the way to 6 gigahertz for the cellular bands. And it covers Wi-Fi bands from 2.4 to 2.5 gigahertz and 5 to 6 gigahertz. So where can we use the PANL-401? So our PANL-401 can be used in 2 verticals or 2 industries. This is the transport and mobility as well as the fixed wireless access industry. So for the transport and mobility sector, it can be used in the passenger vehicles like buses, the coaches, and in cars, in RVs, in your motorhome, as well as in emergency response vehicles, just to mention a few. And for the fixed wireless application, it can be used in your home or in your office for you to get a strong and a stable connection. Just remember that this is an indoor antenna. It's meant to be mounted on a window, and the window has to be clean for you to have proper contact between your antenna and the window. So let's look at the benefits of a good and a stable connection. Why is this important in the different industries? So for a bus, a car, or an RV or a motorhome, you'll be able to enhance passenger entertainment. People want to be entertained on transit. So this is a good to have a function or a feature in your car. So people will be able to stream videos, music, movies, social media, or internet browsing. People will be able to work on the go, access their emails, do video conferencing and online work. People will be able to stay connected with family, friends, and colleagues while on transit. You can be able to integrate surveillance cameras in your cars or in the passengers' vehicles, which will ensure passenger safety. Passengers will be able to access real-time information, for example, like bus schedules, the routes or arrival times. And for passenger vehicles that have Wi-Fi, this is a competitive advantage if you have connectivity in your vehicle. So people will actually prefer to be in that vehicle so that they can keep on working or keep in touch with their loved ones while on the go. So this is a value add if your vehicle has a good and stable connectivity included. And also the passengers will be able to have quick response to emergencies. So if you have connectivity and a good and stable connection at that, you can be able to report accidents or find roadside assistance. So these are just a few features or importance of having a good and stable internet connection in a passenger car, bus, or RV, or any type of a vehicle. At home or in your office, you need a good and stable connection for you to continue working remotely and collaborate with your peers. You have uninterrupted communications through your emails, your video calls, or messaging apps. Entertainment, you'll be able to access your entertainment apps or entertainment platforms with ease. So you'll be able to stream media, online gaming, social media use, and live streaming. Business will continue as usual. You can connect your smart home and IoT devices just because you have a good and stable connectivity. So that's your smart lighting, security systems, and thermostats. And for those who are doing online education or e-learning, you can be able to continue doing that because you have a stable connection. For the emergency response vehicles, so this is where you have your ambulances, your police cars, your fire trucks. Everything has to be real time. So it's very, very important to have a good and stable connection. So you'll be able to have real time communication between the emergency personnel and the dispatch centers and hospitals. You'll access real time information. So you'll have to check the latest incident reports, weather updates, road conditions, medical databases, treatment protocols, and even patient history. Telemedicine and remote support. So you'll be able to consult with doctors or specialists while treating patients in the field or on the ground. GPS and navigation, of course. Responders quickly will locate the site of the emergency and avoid traffic or even roadblocks. Data sharing will be possible now because they'll be able to send live data, images, and videos to command centers for resource allocation, and onboard monitoring and safety systems. That's the vehicle cameras, the body cams, or the live incident feeds which enhance the safety of both the responders and the public. So looking at the measured results, so we measured our antenna in an anechoic chamber just to see how it performs. We did the VSWR measurements, the gain measurements, as well as the isolation measurements. VSWR stands for voltage standing wave ratio. It is just a measure of how efficiently an antenna is transmitting power from a source. A source here can be your radio or your router without reflecting it back. So it should not reflect the power back to your router, because if it does this, it will damage your equipment over time. So a low VSWR will mean that the antenna is working well and all the power is being used, while a high VSWR will mean that the antenna is not efficient and too much power is being reflected back to your router. So our PANL-401 has a VSWR of less than 2 to 1 over 85% of the band, which is very, very good. For the gain, we have a peak gain of 7.8 dBi, which is realized on the higher bands from 3.3 gigahertz all the way to 4.2. And on the lower bands, we have a peak gain of around 4 dBi. So as I mentioned earlier, gain is just an illustration or translates to an estimated coverage distance, and a peak gain of 7.8 dBi will provide superior signal strength as well as extended coverage, and it's actually high given the form factor of the panel. On the isolation here means the degree to which your antenna elements are actually electrically and physically decoupled from each other. The PANL-401 has 5 antennas in one enclosure. So these antenna elements need to function independently without interfering with each other, so that you don't have signal leakage from one antenna element to the other. So a good isolation is typically around 10 dB and above, and we realize this in our antenna, which we have a 10 dB isolation from 410 all the way to 960 megahertz, and 20 dB from 1710 to 6 gigahertz. So that isolation is very, very good, and all the elements will function independently without interfering with each other, and true MIMO will be realized on the router end when the signal is processed. So let's look at the mechanical data. The PANL-401 has a length of 267 millimeters, a width of 210 millimeters, and a thickness of 31 millimeters. The radome or the enclosure is made of UV stable ASA material, Why we use the ASA material is because it provides resistance to artificial UV exposure. We are calling it artificial UV exposure because the antenna is mounted indoors and the sunlight is coming through the windows. So it's not outdoors, so it's not exposed to sunlight directly, but it will get the exposure through the window. So that's why it's artificial UV exposure. So this material provides resistance to artificial UV exposure, and it prevents the yellowing or the fading or surface cracking with time. And then it will make the antenna look longer and look clean and new for a longer period of time. The antenna comes with 2-meter RTK31 cables. RTK31 cables are known for their low signal loss, high performance, and durability. So looking at the environmental specifications, the PANL-401 is IP65 rated for water ingress. So IP65 rated means it's protected against dust intrusion as well as low pressure water jets from any direction. So if any dust or water gets into the antenna, as you may all know, it will degrade the antenna's performance over time. So where will water be coming from? You may ask yourself, since this antenna is mounted indoors. So windows can be exposed to condensation from temperature changes, water splashes during window cleaning, or even moisture if the window is not fully sealed. So if this kind of condensation comes in or water splashes are present, they will not be able to penetrate the antenna because it's IP65 rated and we did the tests. The panel 401 is IK8 rated for impact resistance, meaning it's protected from accidental knocks. This can be from people or from objects or even from falling objects, thanks to the antenna's high quality design, as well as the materials used to build the antenna. So let's briefly look at the mounting options for the panel 401. The panel 401 can be window mounted using industrial grade Velcro strips. The Velcro has a loop and a hook tip. The hook tip is at the back of the antenna and the loop attaches to the hook. It's a non-invasive mounting method because no tools are required. You don't even need to go outside. You don't need to drill into anything. And this comes in very handy, especially in the rented vehicles or leased vehicles. So all you need is a clean window and then you attach your antenna. So on vehicles, the antenna can be mounted on the windshield, on the side windows, on the rear windows, or even the roof hatch window if applicable. So this is just an illustration of how the Velcro is attached at the back of the antenna, and then you just gently push it on your window, on a clean window at that. So the other option of mounting the antenna on a window is using suction cups. And our suction cups come with screws to make it easier to just fasten them at the back of the antenna. So this is just an illustration of how you just fasten it. It's fast, it's quick, no tools are required. As I mentioned, it's also a non-invasive mounting option. All you do is just screw them at the back of the antenna and gently press it on a clean window. So we thought this is a very important thing to highlight. These are things or observations that people should have in mind before you mount your antenna on a window, so that you can have optimal performance, optimal performance from the antenna. So the window should be flat. It should be non-porous. What we mean by non-porous is it should be impermeable to liquids or air, and it should be cleaned with an alcohol-based solvent for proper contact to be established between your antenna and the window. Otherwise, it will not hold for long. It will just keep falling off. So you need to make sure that your window is flat, it's non-porous, and it's cleaned properly. The other thing is for windows that have tints. So you must make sure that your tint is not metallic. We actually advise people to use windows that do not have tint, or if it has a tint, make sure it's a ceramic tint. This is because metallic tints can either reflect or block your RF signal. So you will not have the optimal performance you're hoping to get. And even for the window coatings, for the vehicles with window coatings, the window coatings have conductive materials like metal oxides. This again will continue to degrade your antenna performance. So it's rather you go for a window with no tint, or you confirm that is a ceramic tint, or even for the window coatings, make sure that the window coatings do not have any conductive materials. Otherwise, you will not have the signal, optimal signal performance or the antenna performance you wish to have. So let's look at the value add, or what sets our antenna apart or differentiates us from our competitors. So the panel 401 is a 4x4 MIMO 5G mobility antenna. Why is this important? Because it offers high data throughputs, up to 4 times the data speeds of a single antenna, making it ideal for bandwidth intensive application like live streaming. It's ultra wideband. It covers the frequencies from 410 all the way to 6 gigahertz. The importance of the lower frequencies is there's better signal penetration through obstacles, and it also gives you longer range. And the importance of having the mid to the high frequencies is because you'll have high bandwidth for faster data rates. So they're applicable to different environments and applications. It has cross-polarized with linear, horizontal, and vertical antennas. Cross-polarization is important because you'll have improved data rates, and it will ensure stable connectivity despite the constant movement and changing orientations, especially in mobility applications. Panel 401 has a peak gain of 7.8 dBi, which is quite high given its form factor, providing superior signal strength and extended coverage. The cellular antennas wideband design can support both cellular and Wi-Fi frequency bands. This comes in handy, especially if your router has Wi-Fi ports and you only have 2 cellular. This antenna is applicable. It has a dual band GPS antenna supporting both L1 and L5 bands. This will offer greater precision or accuracy and give you faster location fixes. It comes with flexible and non-invasive mounting options. So no drilling that is involved. You just use the Velcro strips that we provide and the suction cups. The enclosure is sonic welded. What this means is the enclosures are melted together. What this does is it creates an airtight and waterproof seal and strengthens the overall structure, making it more resistant to impacts and vibrations. It's low profile, compact design with an IP65 and IK8 rating. And it's EMARC certified, so it ensures compliance, safety, and performance in the automotive and mobility applications. So apart from in addition to the PANL-401, we are developing other panel derivatives to meet market demands. And the panel derivatives we are considering now is the PANL-631. So just like the PANL-401, it belongs in the panel series. That's the antenna series name. But this now has 6 cellular antennas, 3 Wi-Fi antennas, and 1 GPS antenna. So this configuration is quite unique and is applicable to a few routers currently in the market. So this antenna is available for order and it has already been developed. So the next one we are considering is the PANL-401, which is a 7-in-1 omnidirectional wideband panel 5G antenna. What this means is there are 7 antennas in the same enclosure. And it has 4 cellular antennas. And this variant has 2 Wi-Fi antennas and 1 dual band GPS antenna. This is still in the development phase and will be released very, very soon. Thank you very much. This brings me to the end of my presentation. Over to you, Dora.
Hello again. So thank you so much, Beth, for your amazing presentation. You have, I think we still have some minutes to answer to some questions.
Yes,
in the Q&A, you have a question from Sarah. Maybe you want to,
Let me read it. Yeah, let me see if it's...
So it's concerned to Sarah is asking, although designed as an indoor antenna, can the panel be temporarily mounted outside on the window?
Yes, it can, but we have our GPS antenna that is mounted facing outwards. So if you're mounting it on the window outside, that means your GPS will be facing inside and you'll not get good GPS reception. So that may be a challenge, but if you do not need GPS for your application at that instance, yes, you can mount it outside as long as you remember to remove it, of course, once you're done. I hope that answers your question.
We have others here, not in the Q&A section, but on the chat. And a question from Anders. Will it be possible to make dual low band connectivity with the PANL-401? Example number 28 and N28 and B20.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Is it on the Q&A or on the chat? Is it on the chat? Is it possible to make dual low band connectivity with panel for EG and 28 and B20? Yes, yes, it is. It is possible. It covers those bands, yes. Yes.
From Cristobal, is it possible to mount the antenna horizontal?
No, it's possible, yes, but for the best performance, we advise you just mount it as it is. As you'll see, it's quite rectangular. If you mount it the other way, yes. It will look physically weird, but it will work. But optimally, we've tested it when it's mounted the way it's shown on the image there and on the user guides and on our technical sheets. For optimal performance, just mount it like that, facing the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because all the tests were made with that position, I
Yes,
believe.
that in thought, yes.
Okay. You have another question from Core Smith and from Filbert as well.
Yeah. Is this any way of pole mounting the antennas instead of using wall or
For
window?
Windows.
So we are currently in the design phase of a bracket that will enable us to like pole mount and wall mount these antennas outdoors. So we will communicate once this is available, and then yes, you'll use this bracket to mount it outdoors on a pole or on a wall. Yes.
Okay, very interesting your question. We are receiving a lot of questions on the Q&A section as well, and it's very good that that shows that you are really interested in our product. So we are very glad. We still have some more minutes. You can still answer to other. Maybe Filbert.
How does it perform versus only 214 and MIMO 3? So this is a comparative thing that we have to do on the side note so we can get back to you. So we have to like look at the Omni 214 MIMO 3 and the panel and do a comprehensive comparison so we can get back to you on that. Is
it possible to monitor those antennas if they are online? Does it have a user interface?
No, this is a passive antenna, so you can only monitor if you connect them to a router and then monitor those routers. Because if the router, like for example, Teltonica, if they have an RMS, a remote management system. So this is a passive device. So the only way you can monitor it is if you have surveillance cameras where they're installed. You cannot, they are not active, if you can put it like that. There are no electronics in there. It's just a passive antenna.
Okay, and from Toyn, if you compare the gain with the Expo 1 for Expo 1 for 5G, is it comparable?
Expo 1 for, do you mean Expo 1 5G? I'm not sure what the 4 there means.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not correct. Yes.
You mean, okay, yeah. So you mean the Expo 1 5G. So the gain, the Expo 1 5G is 3 dBi, the peak gain, and this one is 7.5. So it's double the gain. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then we have another question on the Q&A section. Maybe you can, would there be compatible magnet mount in the Poynting product range from other antennas that would be suitable?
Yes, so this is again something else that we are testing with our current MBKs, which are our magnet kits that are available, and all this will be released with all the information and the marketing information that we'll release after this webinar. So we will advise which magnet mounts can be used with this product, yes.
Okay. And how is connected to the modem?
How is it connected to the body? So now the antenna comes with SMA connectors. So from the RTK cables, the cables are terminated with connectors, and those connectors, each cable is labeled. So we have cellular and then we have GPS. So you just take these SMA connectors from the cables and connect it to the router connectors. So that's how you connect it to a modem or to a router.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
A last one, and because we don't have so much time, and I promise that we will send you all the answers to everyone.
Yes. If I don't answer all these questions, I will type my answer as the webinar goes. Yeah.
That's it. So is it possible to use the antenna for the 2 LTE routers? 2 antennas per independent router?
Yeah, if your LTE router only comes with 2 ports, yes, it's possible. So you'll put 2 cables on one router and then the other 2 cables on the other router. Yes, it's possible.
Okay. So thank you so much, Beth, for all of your answers.
Yes.
We need to move on. We don't have more time to go on the other questions, but I promise you once again that we will answer everything and send it to you on an email. Okay. So now I want to sorry. The bad weather makes these things. Let's move on and speak about the SWIRL, okay? Just a video to introduce. Thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Are you ready to revolutionize your connectivity on the move? Staying connected while out and about can be challenging, but we've got you covered with the new Poynting SWIRL, the versatile solution for your marine and mobility applications. With its wideband coverage, it is ideal for a variety of verticals, ensuring you stay connected in diverse environments. With flexible throughput options, you can choose between 4x4 MIMO or 8x8 MIMO versions based on your needs. The SWIRL's compact and robust design is built to withstand the elements and provide reliable performance. It comes standard with a surface mount, and you can also order it with marine standard or magnet mounting options. There's also an optional CPE base available to keep your router safe and secure. It allows fitting various router sizes with a pre-drilled base plate. Hassle-free installation and secure cable management make installing the SWIRL a breeze. Built to last, it's water-resistant, UV-stable, and designed with efficient cooling for long-lasting performance. Experience connectivity in motion with Poynting, because we're taking you beyond a connected life.
Okay, Beth, thank you again. Cool, the stage is yours.
Let me get this presentation on the screen. 1 second. So you should be seeing.
Yes, everything is perfect. You can start.
All right. So thank you, Dora, for introducing me. Thank you, everybody, for joining. My name is Roel. I'm based in the Netherlands. I joined early January at Poynting to become the business development manager for Europe. Yeah, this is basically my first webinar for the company. So please be kind for me, but let's go over the SWIRL. So we introduced the SWIRL late last year, and currently we're already seeing a lot of traction with it. As you can see in the presentation, we ideally designed the SWIRL to be, let's say, a maritime product, but it has multiple use cases. So let me go over it and let me show you some more stuff on the SWIRL. So we have the SWIRL in two options, where you can use the antenna-only version and the CPE version. I will deep dive on it further on. But basically, let's start with the antenna-only. And as I said, initially we designed it mainly for maritime, but as you can see, it also has a lot of use cases in the mobility space. So yeah, that's where we are focusing on with the SWIRL. In that sense, we have two configurations. The SWIRL comes in a 2 Wi-Fi, 4 Wi-Fi version, or the 4 or 8 5G MIMO version. In that sense, we also have included, of course, GPS, because when you're on the move, it's a need to know. So these are the configurations, how you can order them. I remember the video that Dora just showed has a small mistake in it on the SWIRL 4. It only has 2 Wi-Fi ports, not 4, but we'll correct that on a later stage. The SWIRL itself is an omnidirectional antenna. As you can see, it is a very ultra-band, covering the 600 megahertz up until the 7200 megahertz ranges. So it makes it a very versatile antenna for anything on the move and all the applications that you can use in that sense. I'm not going to deep dive too much into the technical details, The SWIRL 8, for example, it will come with 8 cellular antennas, 4 vertical, 4 horizontal, 4 Wi-Fi antennas, and of course the GPS antenna. And again, as you can see, the ranges it covers, it has a very good reach in that sense. So, as Beth alluded already in the previous presentation, that we do cross-polarization, and what is the benefit of cross-polarization? If you want to keep it very simple, let's say it's a highway, whether it's a 2-lane or a 4-lane street. In this sense, it also helps with catching the reflections, and in that sense, you can get more bandwidth, basically said, right? So that's one of the key benefits. Next to that, of course, our device is also rugged, IP69K. So if you're on a boat, yeah, it's definitely a need. Same with the rust and corrosion, it's saltwater protected. And of course, we also have the UV protection, because you don't want your antenna to get brittle, but also in terms of the colorization, and over time, you don't want to have it go yellow. For example, if you're having a big expensive yacht, you want it to look nice and crisp. If you're having a car, it depends on the use case, whether it's of importance. But if you're having a nice fancy yacht, then yes, you want the aesthetics to be good as well. So it comes with 2 mounting options. Standard, we have the surface mount, and optional, you can also get the magnetic mount. And here's just a short overview of the key selling points on why the SWIRL. And as I said, it comes in 2 versions. So depending on the version you pick, it's either 4x4 MIMO or 8x8. And on this one as well, it's E-Mark certified since early this week. So you can go sell them with a good, clear mind in that sense, knowing it's certified. You won't get any issues in that sense. So you can sell it to all the emergency responders, all the yachting, small vessel areas where you see fit for this. So then we also have the CPE solution, which includes aluminum base. As you can see on the picture, the base is aluminum cast, which is a very, very big benefit compared to, let's say, some of our competitors, because the base is aluminum. It's also a good heat sink for the routers that you put in. And of course, it's very sturdy, right? So if you can put it on a vessel, you will have no issues that the plastic gets brittle or you name it. So sturdiness and a good heatsink is the key benefit of this. In terms of looks and sizes, yeah, how does it compare to what we already have, right? Some of you may already know the Ripple or the Wavehunter and know their sizes. So this is how you can compare it in terms of size. I wouldn't say it's a little antenna, but it's not the biggest either, right? And it, of course, fits multiple routers depending on the band that you're using. We'll come on that later. Initially, as I said, we designed it mainly for the marine vertical, as we have a wide range of antennas already in this vertical. And where do you then position it, right? As you can see, our cream of the crop, the Wavehunter, in the very large spaces, then the Ripple, and so on. In this case, the SWIRL, we see it as in the space of the medium to large vessels. And again, depending on the use case, sometimes it's even very well for a smaller vessel, all depending on the application needs of the customer. And as well, similar to the antenna, IP69K, IK8 rating, and again, all the the other stuff as well. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. And it comes with, again, standard surface mounting holes, which will fit on the industry standard brackets from mast and radar mounting. If you're comparing it to how to put it on a vehicle, well, then of course, it depends how big the vehicle is. I would say consider trucks, ambulances. You could go with the antenna only, but again, it depends on, do you want to be very invasive, or do you need low cable loss, stuff like that, where you then consider whether the antenna only or the CPE version. So in terms of the router space for the base, we have already tested and pre-drilled holes for some of them. As you can see in the picture, the space that would fit. And currently we have tested and pre-drilled the holes for these solutions. So we have already tested the celloways, cradle point, a couple of the peplings, and of course also Teltonica devices. You can see some sort of bracket currently already on the picture as well. We're still in the designing phase of those to come along in the ordering sheet at some point, but that will follow shortly. So if you have anything that we may have missed in terms of a brand or a specific device, and you want to know, hey, does it fit or can we make it fit? Reach out to us and let us advise you, right? Of course, some of you already know how the cabling goes within this device. Again, don't want to shed too much light on it, but it's very easy to access and install, and you can still access it via an external Ethernet port. Then again, the key selling points similar to the antenna only. In this case, we do have the cast base, which is fit for standard marine mounting options for ease of install, and as well the EMARC certification. And last but not least, it's already out at sea. As you can see, it gives you a more clear picture on the look and feel, but also the size. And as said, currently we are doing projects or in talks with companies that are either wanting to use it on trucks, and currently we're working on a really big project with multiple thousands of these, where they want to use the CPE and the antenna to fit in 2 routers, and yeah, they drive around the country in that sense, and they need a good antenna. They don't want to pull all these cables through the truck, and that's where the CPE really helps, because you have minimal loss and you have, let's say, less work with retrofitting any trucks or vehicles in that sense. So yeah, I only had 10 minutes, so I wanted to keep it short and simple. I want to thank you for attending, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter on LinkedIn, and you will always get the latest and greatest from Poynting.
Thank you so much, Roel. Let me maybe just add something. This is something that really makes me proud. We are receiving such a great feedback from our customers that already ordered and received our SWIRL, and it's amazing to have this kind of feedback. It really makes us proud. Now maybe we still have time to answer some questions. Roel, let's take a look on our Q&A. Yes, you have there. For example, from RG, what is the approximate Wi-Fi range of this antenna? If you don't know how to answer, if you don't have all the data right now, Roel,
I think this is still on the PANL-401, but not sure.
No, I don't think so, but maybe.
If so, can you define on which antenna, RE?
Okay, so let's go to the other. The other one, it's I'm sure it is for the SWIRL. The black aluminum base plate can be unscrewed, and then we can drill our round holes for two other types of routers, I guess.
That I would indeed have to check with the product team. As I'm business development, I'm not in that sense on the technical.
Yes,
sheet,
but we have Ugo. Ugo is helping us right now. Let me just say, let me just check. I believe, no, it's not. It's not the same question. But yeah, don't worry. Because we will have answers from the technical team, and we will address all the questions, all the answers to these participants. Another one, Rule. I don't know if you can answer. You can see. I guess on commercial vessels, it will always be advisable to use the full CPE with aluminum base because of the heavy vibrations. I believe
that would be our
yes.
suggestion indeed. We usually sell the SWIRL with the CPE aluminum base, in this case in maritime. The antenna only is very often used in the mobile space where something is already in the vehicle and we need a better antenna, right? But yeah, definitely in commercial vessels, I would advise the full CPE with the aluminum base.
Okay, so let's move on, and I promise again that we will get all the answers to your questions after the webinar. Okay, let's move on to the final part of the webinar. And some of you, we know that some of you entered our giveaway, and I'm happy to announce the 3 winners. Are you ready? Hope you are. Let me just share something. Okay. Let's go. Look. Okay. Now a question. Did you already notice that many of our antennas are inspired by the animal kingdom? For example, the leopold enclosure, the armadillo enclosure, the rhino enclosure. So after these technical presentations, I thought maybe it's the right moment for some animal-inspired cuteness as we announce the winners. What do you think? So the winners are Frederick Nastrom, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying the right names, Holden Lidla and Coran Dunst. These are the 3 winners. I can say that it was a very, very positive thing that we have done here. And we just received more than 50 answers and participations for this giveaway. It was a real success. So I need to thank you, all of you, because it was incredible the number of participations we had. These 3 were somehow different in terms of, but we had very good participations, very good project descriptions. But we selected, as a team, we selected these 3. One from Sweden, one from Estonia, and the other one from Poland. So we are going to contact these 3 winners, and get you in touch with our team to receive all the panels. Okay, thank you so much for your time here today, and I think we now we have done for this webinar. I don't know if you want to add something, Bad and Rule, but for me it was a pleasure to have you here. Congratulations once again to the winners, and a big thank you for everyone for the 50 people that will part in the giveaway, and then for the more than 80 people that were here today. We'll see you soon for more webinars. Stay tuned, please.
Just wanted to add one thing. Everybody else that left a message for the panel 401, we will still reach out to you and see how we can have the conversation.
Of course. And we will receive the full presentations, the full PowerPoint, and also the record of the webinar. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye all.